Hello everyone, welcome back, and today we are going to talk about the computer-based IELTS frequently asked questions. So let's begin. Most people ask about these questions. How much does it cost? So the computer-based IELTS is the same cost as the paper-based IELTS. It costs around 330 Australian dollars. So if you are from outside Australia, you can convert it. The next question would be, can we use paper or pencil to take notes? Yes, you can. You will be given an A4 size paper and a pencil to take notes during the test. Next question is, who checks the result? So a person as a human being is the one who checks the result on computer-based IELTS exam. Next is, what is more difficult, computer-based or paper-based? Well, it depends really on an individual, but the questions and the format are all the same with the same test. Next question would be, are we allowed to have a break during the test? Yes, you are allowed to have a break, but only to go to the toilet and nothing else. But the time you consume during your break would be counted on the time clock you are on. So it's not a free break or anything. So I would suggest you go to the toilet beforehand so you don't use your time. Or instead of going to the toilet, you might use it as well in answering the exam. Next question. Does it automatically save? So all the things you answered in there will be automatically saved. If the time has run out, the screen will go to the lock screen or the login details screen. Are the formats the same with the paper-based exam? Yes, the formats and the questions are all the same, but in writing section, you will have to type your answers in the right side of the screen, while on listening is you have to type your answers and you don't have to transfer your answers anymore like the paper-based exam. Now let's proceed to listening section. First question is, how much time given to complete listening section? So there is 30 minutes given to complete all the listening sections. Number 2, is there a time given to read the questions before the audio starts? Yes, so I suggest take your time to read the questions before the invigilator will say start. You have plenty of time to read all the questions before the audio will play. Many of you might be wondering if it's much better to listen and type at the same time or just listen and then type later. So for my experience, I did listen and type at the same time because it's easier. It doesn't matter if you make a mistake on your spelling. You can go back on it later and check your spellings as long as you keep listening and concentrate so you won't get lost during the audio. During the listening section, in each section you have time to read the questions first, and at the end of each section you also have time to check your answers. The first section usually takes 2 minutes to check your answers, and then the next section is 1 minute, and then the last section is 1 minute to check all your answers and spellings. Let's proceed to the reading section. Most people ask if can we use all capital letters in all the answers in each section, even in listening and writing task. I would suggest not to because there are some answers that are only nouns which only starts with a capital letter. So better be safe than sorry. Next question. Does computer highlight wrong spellings or does the computer do spell check like the normal computer? No, the IELTS computer-based exam doesn't do highlight on wrong spellings or either spell check. In a reading section, or you can highlight the words in the passages, but you cannot see any spell checks on where you write your answers, especially in the writing task. Last but not the least question on the reading section. Can we jump to the next section or next passage or the next page? Yes, you can. You can go back. You can move forward. It will only depend on how you manage your time to finish all the passages in time. Let's move on to the most challenging task in IELTS computer-based, the writing task. Many of the people usually find it difficult to pass the IELTS because of writing. So here are the most questions, and this is based on my experience on the computer-based IELTS exam. Now, in the writing task, can we start on either task 1 or task 2? Well, in the paper-based, you have 20 minutes for task 1 and 40 minutes for task 2. In computer-based, you still have the same timing, but you can manage your time the whole 60 minutes to complete task 1 or task 2. So either it depends on you whether you start on task 1 or whether you start on task 2. But I would suggest finish one task first and then continue to another task so you don't have to be confused and you're more concentrate and focused on what to do first. The next question would be, can we use copy and paste or Control F for functions? You can copy, you can cut, and you can paste only on the writing section. Next question is there a word counter on the writing test? Yes, there is a word counter on the bottom left corner of the writing section on the IELTS computer-based exam. In task 1, you still have to do 150 words, and in task 2, you have to do 250 words or more. Should we put space in between paragraph? Yes, why not? There's plenty of room for space, and it also looks nicer when there's a space in between so the examiner will know that you are on the next body of the paragraph. It hasn't been mentioned that using capital letters will affect your score, but to be safe, just use the normal writing where you use a proper letters for nouns and pronouns just to be safe than sorry. I often receive these questions in the comments on my previous videos about writing task 1 and task 2. They always ask if can we do task 1 first and then go back or go to task 2, or we can go back to task 1. Yes, your 60 minutes is all you have to do is use your proper time management to finish this task 2 in all 60 minutes. It doesn't matter on how much time you spend in one task, it depends on you. If you think that you can do task 2 first, then do it, and then task 1 last, and then you can go back anytime to rectify or correct your task 1 or task 2. So do we need to have an excellent typing speed? It's not necessary. Maybe the basic skills you have for typing is enough, but it would be an advantage if you had a good and fast typing skills. Another question, can we copy passages from reading section? Absolutely not, because reading section is already closed and you cannot go back in there. Writing section, you have to log in a different login details, so you cannot go back or nor copy passages from the reading section. Next questions would be some general questions being asked in computer-based IELTS exam. First, is the marking criteria the same as a paper-based exam? Yes, it's all the same with the paper-based exam. What happens when the time is up? When the time is up, the computer locks to the login section and you cannot open anything. Are questions similar to paper-based exams? Yes, the formats, the questions are pretty much similar to the paper-based exam. The only difference is that you have to type your answers. If you have any questions and answers, just leave a comment down below, and don't forget to check my other videos about computer-based IELTS exam in all 4 sections. So to all of you who are taking the exam or the computer-based exam, good luck and thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. The only secret to success is practice, practice, and practice, and don't be scared. You can do it. I'll see you again next time. Bye!